Mrs. Borden was last seen alive at 9:30 a.m. by her stepdaughter, the infamous Lizzie Borden, and the maid Bridget. At the time Mrs. Borden was killed, Lizzie's sister Emma was out of town, and Mr. Borden, he was apparently at Fall River, as was Uncle John. Lizzie said Mrs. Borden was downstairs ironing handkerchiefs. Mrs. Borden was killed in the room where her Uncle John had slept the night before. This is now one of the most requested overnight stay rooms in the Lizzie Borden's Axe Murder House and Museum, the John Morse Room, also known as the Murder Room. There was no sign of struggle apparently, and she had no defense wounds. Peculiar, isn't it? The evidence is unclear whether she was facing the attacker and didn't fight back or couldn't fight back, or she could have been standing up or kneeling down. But we do know where the wounds were. One blow struck her above her ear on the left-hand side of her head. The other blow between her shoulder blades that was 4 inches deep. And the remaining 17 blows were to the back of her head and neck, for a total of 19. She was eventually found face down in a pool of her own coagulated blood. Between the blood and the stomach contacts of both victims, it looks like the time of death was concluded to be at 9:30 a.m. A whole hour and a half before Mr. Borden's murder. In the photo, on the wall in the dining room where the autopsy took place, you can see she was lying flat on her stomach, and you can see the pool of blood around her head. And in the mirror, you can see the camera that took the photo. Now, did you know the Borden crime scene photos were the first of its kind? The first crime scene photos in the United States? How's that for a morbid fun fact?